Okay, let's look some more at completing the square, but this time we're going to work with some problems where there's a number in front of the x squared. So for our heading, we have vertex form. And we're going to say complete the square when a is greater than 1. All right, so the big idea, the big change today from what we did before is if we have a number in front of x squared, we're going to divide everything by that number first. So let's write down that rule. So when there's a number in front of x squared, we're going to divide everything by our a value first. So that's the a value is what's ever in front of x squared. And then before we finish this, we're going to multiply everything by that a value again to make sure everything's still equal. So for our first example, we're going to start with f of x equals 3x squared plus 12x plus 8. Now this f of x just means the same thing as y. So f of x equals is the same as y equals. It's just another way to write a function. So my first step, I'm going to divide everything by the a value. So everything's going to be divided by 3. And if you notice, when I divide 3x squared by 3, I get x squared. 12x divided by 3 is 4x. And 8 divided by 3 is not a whole number, so I'm just going to leave it as a fraction and write 8 over 3. Now I'm going to use this part to set up my box like we did before with completing the square. So we're going to draw the box and then cut this b value in half. So we have x plus 2 on the top and x plus 2 on the sides. And we're going to continue our steps like we normally do. So x times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 2 is 4. Now we want to take this last part, our new c, and subtract 4. So I'm going to write 8/3 minus 4 and find out what that answer is. Now I can use my calculator to help me with this. 8/3 minus 4 is going to be a negative 4/3. And you can use your calculator to put it back into fraction form. So now once we have this, we're going to multiply everything by a before we write our final answer. So normally what we would do is write our new equation, f of x equals, we know x plus 2 in parentheses, squared goes there. But now I'm going to take that number that I took out in the beginning. I'm going to multiply everything by 3. So I'm going to put 3 in front of that parentheses right there. And then instead of writing negative 4/3, I want to do negative 4/3 times 3. If we multiply negative 4/3 times 3, we get a negative 4. So I can just simplify this and write minus 4. So I have my vertex form, and then the vertex is going to be just like we wrote it before. We take that opposite sign for the 2, so negative 2, and then bring down that minus 4, and that's my vertex. Our next example, let's do 5x squared plus 20x minus 21 equals 0. So this is standard form. We have the x squared, then the x, then another number. Let's do like we did the first time and divide everything by that a value. Everything's going to be divided by 5. And just like last time, 21 or negative 21 doesn't divide easily by 5. So I'm just going to leave it as a fraction. Now let's set up our box with this part, x squared plus 4x minus 21 over 5. So I cut that middle term 4 in half. I have x plus 2 and x plus 2. Let's go ahead and multiply it all out. I get x squared, 2x, and another 4. And for the last part, let's subtract negative 21 over 5 minus 4. And again, I can use my calculator to help me out with this. I would use the calculator and leave the answer as a decimal because we usually get rid of the decimals. I'm sorry, you leave the answer as a fraction. We usually get rid of the fractions at the end. So negative 21 over 5 minus 4 is negative 41 over 5. And then our last step, this is the new part, we're going to multiply everything by 5 to get our final answer. So I'm going to write y equals, and instead of just writing x plus 2 squared, I'm going to put 5 in front. And then instead of writing minus 41 over 5, I need to go ahead and multiply that 41 over 5 times 5. When I do that, the 5's cancel out and I just get a minus 41. So here's vertex form, and the vertex would be the point negative 2, negative 41. Now, you pause the video and try this next one. 2x squared plus 16x plus 100 equals 0. You want to set up your box and divide everything by that first thing first. You should get y equals 2 times x plus 4 squared plus 68 as your final answer. And there you have it.